Hey everyone, and welcome back to some hardcore Minecraft. I'm just tending to my crops here, since I'm kinda short on food and, well, I really need the wheat. Last time I built the Farmers Guild, which you saw in the background of that time lapse, and in between episodes I started working on the farming area, which required a lot of dirt. Like thousands of pieces of dirt, no joke. I went through so many shovels, but at least things are happening around here. So over here there's going to be some more wheat. And this area over here behind me is going to be for beetroot. And I need to fill that in a little bit still. These two larger sections over here are going to be for the carrots and potatoes. And you can see we're going to need a lot of those for the trade, so it makes sense to have a little bit more room there. And over here I tried to finish up this wall area as well, just to make things look nice and neat. Using a mixture of stone, cobblestone, andesite here, just to give it some variety. But in today's episode, we are doing some interior work here at the Farming Guild, so let's jump to it. Alright, so the first area I want to get started on is the mill here. And I'm going to use these wooden logs to make a pole here in the middle, which is going to kind of act as the main milling device. Again, I'm basing this off of RuneScape and the mill that you see there in Lumbridge. So I have limited working knowledge of this. Down here we're going to have the device that actually grinds the wheat into the flour. So we're going to use these andesite stairs to kind of replicate that. There we are. Put some down here on the bottom as well. We'll leave the middle open right there. So in the middle we're going to have kind of the chute that the flour comes out of. And we're going to use a hopper for that. I'm going to have to get a hopper in a second. Let me just fix this stair. Yeah, perfect. Now, what goes here in this little section is we need a place to kind of catch the wheat that comes out of the flour that comes out of the mill. And I'm going to go ahead and replace the floor here with some sand. Although, you don't want to stack the sand on top of each other. I don't have that much sand. So let's use these spruce floors here. Perfect. And we're going to use sand here as a flooring because it kind of looks like the flour has come out of the mill. And the farmers probably came by and they collected most of the flour, but there's a little bit of residue left over on the floor, right? I mean, after years of flour kind of coming out of this chute and building up on this area, there's probably a little bit left over. So that's what the floor is kind of representing here. I'm going to use these trapdoors. Let me just move these. These trapdoors are going to kind of act as the catching area, as I just said. So this is kind of like the fence that gathers all of the flour when it comes out of a big harvest. Yeah, perfect. I think we should probably make the floor just a little bit bigger. There we are. And I'm going to place the hopper right there. Perfect. So there's our little chute where the flour comes out of. Now what goes for over here is I'm going to place some hay bales as kind of decoration. Extra wheat stores that they haven't quite milled yet. Just kind of sitting around waiting to go into the mill itself. Lighting. Very important. And last but not least, some more hay bales. Kind of try to hide the backside of that staircase just a little bit, I'd say. Yeah, perfect. Looks good, I think. Alright, so up here, I put upside down stairs at the top of this pole here, which kind of looks like it would allow the wood to rotate a little bit better, I think. Just a small little detail kind of thing. Now, up here we're going to put a little ladder on the second floor that takes us to the third floor. Right there. And yeah, of course I messed that up. I was going to mess that up. That's just how it works. Let's try that again. Perfect. And we're going to put a ladder right here that goes up to the third floor. And the third floor is not going to really have much of anything on it, but it's important to have it up there. Storage area coming along pretty well here. So we're going to have all of these barrels, which is where I'm going to store most of the crops that I collect from this farming area. It's a lot of different barrels here, lots of potential for storage and things like that. So I'm going to probably just kind of disperse this, or disperse the crops around in these little barrels, no rhyme or reason to it eventually, but it'd be good to have all the extra storage and things like that. Just move this one real quick. A little bit too symmetrical, I'd say, but yeah, let's go ahead and put this one upwards, I think. Yeah, I said put it upwards. There we are. Perfect. Probably add a crafting table as well. Now what goes up here is we've got the mechanism that comes from the windmill itself that rotates, and it has to twist the other wooden pole to grind up the flour that we put in there, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add what looks kind of like a gear onto this first like wooden pole, and then what goes down here is we need a second gear in the horizontal kind of position to rotate from the vertical one as it kind of rotates. I don't know, I should have to explain this to people. I'm sure people have seen like how gears work with each other. So we're going to use some andesite walls to represent that second gear, since we can't put stairs sideways. Good, we're going to cover this up real quick as well here. Yeah, I like it. It looks really good. It looks really good. So I think probably a couple torches and things like that would be really good to put on the floor. Just for like extra lighting. You know, I don't want to have anything spawning up in here. A little trapdoor, which I of course put the wrong way. We'll plop that down here. Perfect. Yeah, I like it. It looks good. Probably missing a chute. Like we need a chute like to put the actual flour in itself. So we'll have to probably do that. Maybe on like the second floor might be a good place to put that in. With that, I was out of blocks, so I went exploring. Alright, so I'm back from my exploration trip there, and I got a lot of new things. So I got, of course, a couple diamonds. 4, not too many, but a good amount. I got some other kind of like metals and trinkets, iron, gold, lapis, etc., etc., as well as this Heart of the Sea, which is awesome. There was a water breathing potion in that very treasure chest as well, and some smithing templates. I also got 3 new types of wood that I did not have previously, including birch, jungle, and acacia. I got some TNT there, which I don't know what I'm going to do with that TNT, but yeah, I might need it for something eventually. Now, one of the other things I got here are these stacks of meat, which is great because I had like no food. Like, I was living off of this 19 bread that I had in my hotbar right there. So having a couple of stacks of meat is going to do wonders for my food situation. But otherwise, yeah, a couple of smaller things. I also got some bamboo, which I already planted down by the farming guild to grow, so I can get that right away. I needed scaffolding. Scaffolding for me is huge, because it's going to really help doing the interior of the building. Alright, a little bit of off-camera work later, and well, the build's basically done. I made some changes to the outside here. We can see that I replaced these oak planks with birch planks, and they kind of stick out a little bit more. I like that a lot. Add a little campfire up there as well for some extra life to the build. And there's a lot of greenery outside, some texturing done here with some cracked bricks, andesite, etc., etc. A little bit of wood over there, of course, and put some shutters on the windows. But I'm really liking it. I've got some landscaping to do outside here, but the building itself is looking really nice, I think. Lots of greenery, lots of life around here. Heading inside, let's do the full tour. So this is kind of like the entrance area, the information gate. This is like the front desk, I guess. Somebody would probably be waiting here to welcome guests into the guild hall and greet them, help them with whatever they might need. As you can see, information. I'm going to probably change this sign to green once I get some green dye. Heading into the main area here, we've got 2 sections. On the left here, we've got a place for some villagers that I finally set up. Man, it took me so long to set these guys up. But yeah, so I've got all the different trades available here. I haven't finished like fully locking them out to their trades, but I'm getting there. Got a nice fireplace. A little seating area here, nice and cozy. And over to the right, we have a little bit of like a bar, kind of like maybe restaurant area, I guess you could say, but mostly bar. It's a keg over there for some alcohol. I'm using these little flower pots as cups and things like that. Might put someone back there in the actual bar area as like a bartender at some point as well. A villager, or like a villager without a crossbow or anything like that. I don't know. Something. Got a lot of art on the wall as well. As you can see, this could be a little area for like a map, either of the village or of the farming guild as well. I don't know. One of the two. And this is our banking area. As I mentioned, I want to have like a bank in the vein of like RuneScape, so I'm going to probably put an ender chest back here in this corner somewhere. Probably put a villager there to look as like to act as the banker, so to speak. Yeah. And then behind me here, I've got kind of like my crafting area set up right now, and I'm probably going to put some like emerald blocks and things like that over there to show some wealth off. The mill here, we did on camera, so you saw all of that. We do have like a nice little balcony out here that I can look out towards the village, which is going to be needing some sprucing up at some point for sure. Heading up to the second floor here, we have got a little like sleeping quarters area for members of the guild. So 4 beds in there, there's a little bit of storage on the left there, as well as a place for some like armor, or I guess in this case like maybe like work clothes to be hung up. And we've got like a little view down on like top down view for the first floor. Last but not least, over here we have the Guildmaster's quarters. So there's a little desk here with some bookshelves, sleeping area, private composter. I'm using the chiseled bookshelves up there on the left as like some shelving. And I've got this nice large balcony out here for them to take a look out on and relax, maybe enjoy some coffee in the morning or something like that out here with a good view of my shaft. Which is, well, okay, so it's starting to look a little green. Guys, I don't mean to alarm you, but I might have gonorrhea. Oh no. But yeah, that's basically it for the interior, so you've seen pretty much everything else. If we head out back, if we head out back here, we've got all of the crop. So there's massive wheat fields here, and harvesting these wheat fields alone takes like 20 to 25 minutes to harvest and replant them because there's so much of it. My inventory gets filled up and I have to like make like 2 or 3 trips just to do that. We've got some automatic composters here to help with the seeds and extra things like that I'll be getting, so stacking up some bone meal, which I'm sure will come in handy eventually. This area right here is not quite finished. I'm not 100% sure what I want to put on the other side of this gate, but I'm thinking like maybe like a giant wagon to kind of like carry the goods into town or out of town, potentially. I don't know. But heading down here, we've got, again, potatoes on the right, beetroots here on the left, carrots on the right down here. We've got a little bit of like a working station area down here. I think once I get some beehives, I'll probably put those up there for like boxes. I might use like a little hose, like a decoration or something like that. So a little bit more added to that area. Would definitely be added to that area in the future. But you can see these fields they're done. It took me so long to get the amount of crops I needed for that place. But yeah, the back of the building maybe looks a little bit bland. I might put some dormer windows up there at the top. I'm not sure yet. But overall, I'm very happy with this building. I love it. There might also be an unintentional mob farm underneath, which you can probably hear right about now. But yeah, that's the build. So I've been working on this thing quite a lot over the last like 2 weeks or so. So it's taken a lot of my time, but I'm very happy with it. It looks great. I really like the vibe. But that is a good place to stop this episode, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're not already. In the next episode, I'll be looking to build a solution to my iron shortage problem and do a little bit of work around the main base. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you on the next one, everyone. Bye.